Hello, my name is Nicole, and today I would like to talk to those of you all who are college bound, as well as those individuals who are interested in doing some things, but you know that you're going to have to borrow money. Now, I'm not discouraging anyone from pursuing their dreams, but what I am discouraging people from today is getting themselves in unnecessary debt. The reason why I feel that this information is crucial is because I personally have gone through a number of things over the years dealing with debt. And I will tell you that no dream is worth putting yourself in bondage. Now, we don't have debtor prisons in the United States, but we do have professionals who collect, and they will mentally cause you to be so stricken with all sorts of stress, health issues, you name it, behind trying to get money that you simply can't pay. But of course, if you didn't put yourself in that position to begin with, then you wouldn't have to worry about the mental anguish, the calls, the letters, trying to get something done in your life only to find out that a certain company doesn't want to do business with you because of a past history. So I went to the scriptures and I looked up information dealing with debt. And I did that simply because now that I'm born again, there are things that in my present life I know I have to accomplish. And so that is what I'm doing. But I'm not going to do those things signing promissory notes, because that was already done back when I was 18 years old. And I will tell you that a lot of that had to do with pressure from people around me to go to college. It also had to do with the school putting pressure on me to go to college. Now, some people call that, well, that's a necessary debt. I mean, you want to get a good job one day, you want to do this, you want to do that. But let me tell you, depending on how large your dreams are and how much money you need, will determine how far you want to go in education. And some people, they just want simple lives. They don't want to be the next famous whoever. And then what's interesting is a lot of the next famous whoever did not graduate from college. So this business of putting pressure on children who are only 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years of age to go to college, and they don't even know what they really want to do in life, is sick. It's really sick, because these children are signing loans that they cannot pay. And what's even sicker is when the parent gets the bill and then tells the child, oh yeah, such and such bill has showed up and I need you to pay it. And the child's in college with a full work study load. They barely have enough time to sleep at night. And then the parent tells them, oh yes, by the way, the bill showed up, and when you get home this summer, you're going to work that bill off. Meanwhile, the income that they're getting is not even enough to pay for their daily living expenses, and yet the parent wants them to pay off student loans. Come on now. And so then a lot of parents wonder why their relationships are strained right around that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, years. They wonder why. Well, you have to look at the pressure that you put upon that child. You have to look at the fact that you're not paying for that child's education. And what's even worse about the situation, there are so many that don't even bother to do the necessary research to find out what other options are out there. And not only that, some don't even know where to begin when it comes to paying for their child's education. And some, back when grandparents were telling them to put money away if you want your child to go to college, they didn't even listen. And so now the child has to pull out all of these loans. And our society says, well, it's okay, it's normal. No, it's not. It's not normal. It is not right. It is not right to expect those sort of expectations upon a child who cannot pay for something. Would you tell a child to buy you a house or sign up for your utilities, knowing full well that they can't pay for them, knowing full well that eventually there's going to be a default if there's no help? That's almost guaranteed, especially if the child has been in college for over 4 years. Now, yes, like with everything, people like to justify things by saying, well, there's exceptions to the rule. Yeah, but there's very few. Most people are really struggling. They are struggling. And it's only getting worse. Because as long as parents go along with the programming, the brainwashing, that everybody has to go to college, that everybody needs a degree, then the only people that win in a situation are the companies that are collecting that interest. So I went to the scriptures because I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. And I believe that some people who have tuned into this audio, God has not put that type of pressure on you. That if anything, God is freeing you this day. Back when I was 18, I made a stand about a lot of things. And this was one that I regret. The one where I went to my parents and said, listen, I don't want to sign on something that I know that I'm not going to be able to pay for. That's the one regret that I have. That I fought about other stuff, like wanting to go here and wanting to do this and wanting to get involved with this organization and on and on. But when it came down to my name, I didn't fight for it. All you have in this world is your name. The same people who encouraged me to go into debt are the same people who told me that all I had in this world was my name. And if my name was not good, that I didn't do what was right, then my name meant nothing. The first thing that comes out your mouth after you say hello to someone that you don't know is, my name is. And for those of you all who don't have to go to college right now, but you prefer to go to maybe a trade school, or maybe you just want to go to a community college because you know that's what's in the budget, then do that. And if all you got in a budget is just one semester, then you learn as much as you possibly can for that one semester. And you buy the books that you need to buy for that one semester. But then you get on that internet and you get as much information for free as you possibly can. Don't buy into people who just want to look good. They just want to go around. I don't care how much they say they love you, because yes, love is a beautiful thing. But it's not about reputation and making folks look good. And that's what a lot of times these parents are doing. They're feeling pressure on a job from other people, and they're saying that they want their children to go to college because this one and that one did. But what they're not hearing in all their bragging and boasting is that the ones that are sending their children to college are paying for the bulk of the expenses. Poor folks trying to pretend like they're rich. Poor folks that know that they can't afford to put their child in a top name organization or higher learning. But they're trying to, as my grandmother would say, showboat. See, it makes them look good, listener. Those that are headed toward college or thinking about going to college, but you know you don't have the money. It makes them feel good to know that their child is going to a place that maybe they haven't been. Or maybe they have been and did extremely well, and now they expect you to do the same. But you've got to think long and hard about some things, because it's your name. It's your name. It's not theirs. And then in some cases, depending on what loans you sign for, the parent's name is going to have to be on those loans. And what ends up happening is that same parent who was bragging about their baby going to college later on, they find out that if certain bills aren't paid on certain dates, that now their name is at risk. And rather than be upset with oneself for pressuring a child to go to college, instead what they do is they start putting all the pressure on the child. You better get that college work study program. You better get that part-time job. You better work with so-and-so and make extra money. I don't have the money. God sees all this. And Christians, I'm telling you, you should know better, because the scriptures speak to debt. And let's get into the scriptures now, because sometimes you got to tell a personal story and, talk about some things that you witnessed so that people get the clear understanding as to where you're going and, what your intentions are. And so my intentions, like I said, is not to shatter people's dreams. My intentions is to show folks the truth. And not only that, for them to come up with a conscientious decision as to what will work best for their situation. And not only that, to look inwardly and see why it is that is so important for you to have an 18-year-old, 19, 20 plus year old sign on a contract that you know they don't have any means to pay, and you know that you don't have enough money in the till. Buying some clothes and some food and some nice little decorations for the dorm room is not enough. It is not enough. Take it from me. And then what's worse is to be so far away from home when you're young and not even get a care package. Not even get a care package because mom and dad are talking about they don't have the money for this and that. Okay. Not even there were times where I'm telling you, there were times when I went and I asked for money and I couldn't get $5. I'm telling you, it's relationships that look good right now and everybody's smiling and hugging and my baby this and my baby that. Those relationships turn for the worst when money gets involved and folks don't have enough of it. There's a prophetic that's going out right now before we get into the word of the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Someone out there, I am telling you right now that if you don't go ahead and stand and tell your parent that I'm just going to have to come up with some alternative in the time being, because college is just not going to work. We've got to look at money, not reputation, mom, dad. If you don't stand, your relationship with your parents is going to go downhill. It's already enough pressure being the fact that you got a parent over here living in a different state and a parent over here living in a different state. You know who you are. and they're both talking amongst each other about what they plan on doing, but meanwhile there's a lot of negativity floating around, you could free them from a lot of that drama if you would just open up your mouth and stand.